Last time on Final Fantasy 16, we made our way up to Moor, did a couple of side quests involving nobles and their kids that depressed the hell out of me, so I played with my puppy. We also found that the merchant we need to deal with is just up there.
Oi, don't touch anything.
You also don't have anything I care about except for that, but, well, I'm not going
Good
to be getting.
riddance.
I do not have
Weren't
enough money for
expecting
that.
any new branded until the new moon. You don't think he's a dessert?
What's this? A branded? Where's your master? Must I call for the constable?
I come to you from Northreach, at the behest of the dame. Perhaps you've heard of her.
Why, of course I have. I am the good lady's servant.
Why is everyone so afraid
What
of the
is it
dame?
that she requires of me?
Rumor has it you were seen arguing with a soldier some few days ago. A soldier with a scar over his eye.
Yes, yes, that's right. He had a comb which he claimed was an
You
antique.
stole Tadian's
He
comb.
wanted to
Really?
trade it for a newer one. But old though it was, an antique it most certainly was not, as I told him. Nevertheless, he insisted that it was of great value and was quite vehement about my
Yes,
appraisal.
this was
I
sentimental
stood
value, you
firm,
numpty.
however, and for all his bluster, he still purchased a new comb, albeit an inexpensive one.
And do you know where he went after that?
My customers aren't usually in the habit of telling me whither they are bound, but as it happens, this one did. Yonder ruins, strange as it may sound.
My thanks.
Not at all. I would do anything for the dame. Anything. Be sure and tell her, won't you, that I was helpful. I mean, most helpful.
Do you have a name for me to tell her, or just a random trader help me out? Okay, I can see where this is going, and I don't like it.
You are fortunate to have fallen into the dame's good graces, but her influence wanes the further you stray from Northreach. Remember that, my wayward lamb.
Don't tell me what to do. So clearly he's took her comb, kidnapped her, kept her in the ruins over here, and was trying to buy a
It
new
smells
comb
of
to
death here,
replace it
Torgal.
and impress her.
Wolves. We can't let them get any closer to the village.
There we go. That was a good combo. Oh, that's the apple wolf, eh? Well, it's gonna be a dead wolf in a moment. I was hoping they weren't dead, but they look to be dead. Unfortunate news for the dame.
Damn it all. Bodies. A man and a woman.
And one of them is a courtesan. That's gonna be Tadian.
Well, the wolves have been busy. But the blood is long dry.
And there's the antique comb. Well, the not antique, old comb.
So it is you. Tatienne.
If that's true, then the body next to hers will be Yannick's. The girl Yannick went off to see every night. You said her name was Tatienne.
You. Did you follow me?
Now, why would I do that? Unless you think I'd have good reason to. But no. I was sent to find Yannick. By the looks of things, I have.
We both found who we were searching for.
Nah, he was a jealous sod. Couldn't stand the thought of his woman with someone else. Then one day he sees her with a new comb. Thinks she's got herself a new gallant. Tells the garrison he's going to find the man and kill him. We know it's all talk, but then he disappears off to Moor for some dealings and doesn't come back.
If you mean this comb, it was a gift from the dame.
If only Yannick had bothered to ask, eh?
Yeah,
He
and
might
yet
not
he
be
did.
rotting on a hill.
As I said, these kinds of people are the
I
worst.
think he meant to ask her something else. He stole the old comb and bought her a new one in the hope they'd wed.
Wed? Where would they have gone? Certainly not back to Northreach with a dame waiting. And we all know what happens to deserters. Tell the dame I'm sorry for her loss. When the lads come to collect Yannick's body, I'll see that Tatienne is delivered to the Vale.
Is that wise?
Ah, there won't be any covering up this mess. The most we can hope for is that the dame doesn't hold it against us. Speaking of which, I saw her in Moor just now.
No, she came
Did
all
you
the way
tell
up
what
here,
happened?
did she?
Might sound better coming from you.
Well, that's not a happy ending.
I need to tell Isabel. Perhaps the comb will give her something to remember Tatienne by.
I'm getting the feeling there's not many happy endings in this game. But, while we're here,
Not much chance I'd make it to the penitent's gate without someone recognizing me as a deserter. So I better have a plan.
you know what? Just because I can. There was no reason to do that other than I could. Interesting. We killed like 4 or 5 there, right? And we still only got 64. Oh well. AP is AP.
If it was a message that needed delivering, I could have seen to it, milady.
Of course you could, had it not been personal.
Interesting there's no subtitles for that conversation like there usually
You are
is.
still in one piece, I see. You will be pleased to hear that your companions have arrived. They
Excellent.
said they would meet you at a little chapel to the east of here.
Thank you, but you needn't have come all this way just to tell me. I was on my way to see you.
You found her then?
Unfortunately.
I see.
Sorry it isn't good news, Isabel.
No, dear Tatienne. It is by no means uncommon for a client to fall for a courtesan. Especially a client who's young and far from home. But rarely do such tales have happy endings.
I mean, they often
I
do have
found this
happy
with
endings,
Tatienne.
but not happy endings.
I believe it was yours.
The weathered comb.
Thank you for returning it. I shall see that it has a place on her pyre.
I'm sorry, Isabel. I wish I could have given you good news. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be.
Before you do, I have one last gift. A token of my thanks. The Vale counts among its patrons several high-ranking officers of the Imperial Army. According to one of the looser-tongued gentlemen, it would appear that the legions are planning to march south.
Not to mention the same thing.
But did he mention that it was all of the legions? This is no mere skirmish. Were I to guess, I'd say the Emperor planned to abandon the capital.
I
But
don't
that
think
couldn't
that's
possibly
the
be true
intent.
now, could it?
He's planning to extend
Okay,
his
fine.
rule, not
I will.
abandon it.
And thank you again.
Okay, there's a little thing up there that'll lead over. So I didn't end up going over to Baywatch, so I probably should have. But I also didn't come out here over to Westwatch, which I probably should have done. And I've still got all this to... so much to explore. But first, abilities. Limit break. Ignition. I want to improve ignition. I can improve it further, but I don't have enough for that. And I'm not using that one. Okay. Do I have enough for anything else? I do. Let's improve... No, I don't. I'm just short. Okay. I'll improve that one next just to get it
Weren't
done.
expecting any new branded until the new moon.
But in the meantime, let's head on up to meet our pals. And prepare to head on in to Oriflamme. Hopefully we'll have a more light-hearted story there, right? Yeah, I know, I'm kidding myself there. I'm very much starting to think that there are no light-hearted, happy stories in this game. I could almost just jump over that. Almost.
Any trouble on the way?
None worth mentioning.
As I was telling Jill, it's worse than I thought. The capital's crawling with soldiers.
And here I am, the deserter come home.
Which is why we'll be taking the back door.
No, I wouldn't make crash jokes. Even though it's so tempting. So Shuan just had a whole section with the dame. White Aether. One of the elements, I assume that's Bahamut's element. And meanwhile, in Oriflamme, the pleasure houses. More courtesans. How did we get in here?
Cheer up, you two. Can't think of a safer place in the Empire than a... brothel.
Ignore those sounds.
Really? Doesn't seem very private.
That looked like a lot of money to be handing over
So,
for privacy.
How do we proceed?
We'll be using the glass gate. Tonight, just after sunset.
Where the shards are loaded for transport. That is one of the most heavily guarded points in all of Sambrek.
But not the most, which is a start. Besides, I know
A
a shortcut
terrible
straight
start.
out.
A shortcut. And how exactly did you come to know about this fatal chink in the Empire's armor?
Let's just say I may have attempted something similar before. And may have ended up running for dear life after being discovered by Bahamut, but that's not important.
But Bahamut's far away.
If the mother crystals truly are the cause of the blight,
If you wound me, Jill.
what I'm trying to say is, If the powers that be know all of this, why do they sit idle and allow it to continue?
In case you haven't noticed, the God-fearing people of this realm and their pious leaders care for but one thing, themselves. And they'll do whatever it takes to hold on to power. The rest of us are just a means to an end. The moment you raise your voice against
people in
them,
power.
you're decried as an outlaw, clapped in irons and slung in a cell to rot.
An outlaw.
Whoever controls the crystals controls the realm. But our kind can wield magic without them. To our rulers, we must seem the most convenient of tools. And the most dangerous.
But what makes them think they have the right to use us?
I mean, that was my thought. Like,
to leave us to die when our bodies are spent.
If we're this strong and
Does a
powerful,
nobleman weep for a broken mug?
how many of us are there that they can just replace us easily, and yet not enough of us to rise up and destroy them all?
To them. No, this isn't a battle you can win with words. Believe me, I've tried, but nothing ever gets through. The world is simply not ready to listen. So to hell with talking. If they won't give us a say, we'll decide our fates another way. You can't blame a man for wanting to bring an end to all this, can you?
What happens to us and our powers
But
if
what
we
of all the
break
people you've been to rob of
crystals?
their comforts? Are you happy for them to call you outlaw?
Sid the Outlaw. Ah, that'll do me.
You might at least pretend to take this seriously.
I mean, Sid the Betrayer is a worse style.
Even if you don't think much of my choice of digs. If it means my deeds will be remembered, I'll gladly play the role of villain.
While playing the role of hero in this RPG.
First, we have a gate to crash. And once we're in, there'll be no turning back.
That's a terrible pun,
Best
Sid.
mate ready. The world won't save itself.
Terrible. What, the world won't save itself? I mean... You know what? Just because it is open again, and because we have a teleport into our... We're already in Oriflamme. What are you talking about? Into the next dungeon area. I want to talk to Gort here.
You. Anything catch your eye?
Nope,
Seen
nothing.
enough?
Okay. And while we're here, we'll just double check if there's anything that we can improve upon.
Well, what's that for you, dear?
Nope, those are weaker. Weaker. And everything's weaker. Okay.
Fine.
Well then, I guess if I press the right button, there's nothing to do but get started. You've reached a pivotal moment in the story. If you continue, you will not be able to return. Proceed? Well then, we have done everything we need to, but I'm going to say no here. We will stop here and have a bit of a short episode, because next time in Final Fantasy 16, we're going to have a pivotal moment where there's no turning back. See you then.